Hi there guys, it's Chris Coney speaking, and yesterday I came to you from the Linq Hotel when I was still in Las Vegas. Today I'm coming to you from Terminal 3 at Heathrow Airport, having just got off my 10-hour flight. So, never to miss an opportunity to make a video. Yesterday I reported that there was a crypto price crash, as you probably all saw. It wasn't a crash, I refuse to use that word. The prices were falling somewhat. And I said it may have been because of the Hashgraph announcement, and then because I didn't do a lot of research, I was just checking out the link at the time. Someone tipped me off and said it was the Google advertising ban thing. So more likely it's this announcement from Google, which was reported by Bloomberg, that Google have decided as of June 2018 they will ban online advertising promoting cryptocurrencies or initial coin offerings. So I would say, is a certain world-leading technology company getting a little bit concerned about a potentially invincible set of competitors like cryptocurrencies and blockchains? Certainly looks that way to me. Well, as ever, market participants, they respond to their perception, and not reality. Most market participants just don't possess sufficient expertise and understanding of what the implications are of any given piece of news and what it might be in order to make a rational decision, right? They tend to just make snap judgments based on their very limited understanding. Now, we could wish it to be another way. We could wish that they had more information. We could wish that they were rational. It's never going to happen, right? Market participants were not rational before crypto, and they're not going to be rational in crypto. In fact, I would argue that people are less likely to be rational in crypto because it has a passionate community and the price movements are so volatile. So the reality is that this move by Google may well slow down the rate at which cryptocurrencies are going to grow and be adopted and come into people's awareness, but it won't stop it. It just won't. I think Google may well just be trying to buy themselves some time to figure out how they can respond to it and perhaps make their own crypto or something. So Google has now joined Facebook in banning promotions of cryptocurrencies. Facebook did it like a month ago. Google has now followed suit. They've made the announcement, but the ban doesn't come into force until June. So there's a little bit of time before that. Now, their stated intention is to protect their users from malicious or deceptive advertising campaigns. However, to my mind, they're very unlikely to share their true intentions because that just doesn't serve their interests. So let me tell you what I think is going to happen now, right? Crypto projects, ICOs, new currencies, they're just going to focus on niche media outlets, right? That Facebook and Google do not control. I'm talking about Cointelegraph, Coindesk, sites like ICO Alert, and of course channels and podcasts like mine. Right? The major difference between crypto ads that go through Google's system, say, and projects that come through to me and then being a featured video is that Google's system is largely automated, right? Mine is not. By the time you see one of those sponsored videos on my channel, I've made that project jump through like so many hoops you would not believe it. You wouldn't believe that any of them will be prepared to go through that many steps, right? Now, many of those steps in the filtering process, they're actually designed to see if a project will voluntarily give up on the process. That's really what I want to do. I'm trying to filter out the crap, basically. So scammers don't tend to want to go through that much effort. They much prefer to look for quick wins that are easy to do. So as soon as they come across some resistance or hard work, they'll just move on to another schmuck, right? So when these projects see everything they have to do in order to even be considered for a sponsored video, 95% of them, I just never hear from them again. So that's that. Now, granted, a lot of my content is on YouTube, which of course is supported by Google and their advertising. So yes, there's going to be no more YouTube ads for ICOs and crypto projects, but they can still do sponsored videos and they can still run ads on Coindesk and Cointelegraph, right? And ultimately, word of mouth cannot be stopped either, so that's not really much of a problem. And speaking of perception versus reality, the reality of crypto fundamentals continues to march forward. This is where the price is completely disconnected from reality. So, Lightning Labs, one of at least 3 software teams around the world that are working on software for the Lightning Network, they've published this blog post about a new major release of their software. Now, Lightning is this second layer that's designed to be built on top of the Bitcoin network, and kind of like either the London Underground or the New York subway system. It allows transactions to zip from person to person in an instant for almost no fee. So, using the city transport analogy, rather than taking a car and getting stuck in the traffic jam, you could just go underground and go, on the tube, or in this case, on the Lightning Network. So Lightning Network technology, it's already developed and it's been deployed on the Bitcoin network. And many other cryptocurrencies are also integrating this Lightning technology, right? Which will allow all the various different networks that are running Lightning type software to communicate with each other and then transact value across chains. This is one of the huge things about this Lightning Network stuff. So think like Litecoin to Bitcoin, or exchanging a Decred for a Litecoin and so on. Imagine trying to being able to transact value across chains like that. That would be superb. This has already been tested and proven, so it's definitely possible. Now, this release of the LND 0.4 beta software is designed to run on the main Bitcoin network, right? And that is rather than run it on the Bitcoin test network. Now, this release has a whole bunch of features that I won't go into right now, because it's primarily to allow developers to use it as a basis for building Lightning-based applications. So Lightning apps, or LApps with 2 P's for short. So to put that into perspective, an example app might be something like a Spotify type music app, where you pay for each time you play the song. Right? It would be a tiny fraction of a Bitcoin. Or even perhaps say you might even pay for every second you listen to. That's how small you can make these transactions, right? And of course, it's impractical on the Bitcoin network because they're too slow, and also the transaction fees just make it non-viable. You can't send less than a certain amount of Bitcoin, otherwise the transaction fee ends up being more than the amount you want to send, right? Whereas with Lightning, the transactions are instantaneous, and the fees are so small that you could potentially pay for every second of a music track that you listen to, or even pay for every second of a YouTube video that you watched or whatever, right? So that's kind of interesting. Completely new business models that have never been possible before. So that's like a micropayment example, which is, it's enabled by these instant and nearly free, almost free transactions. But there's nothing stopping you sending large amounts of funds on the Lightning Network. It's just, we can do that already, right? So it's just a case of the software really being still in beta, right? With regards to these large transactions. So the article, the blog post from Lightning Labs, it advises you, if you're a developer wanting to test this out and start developing a Lightning-based app, they say to do so with small amounts of Bitcoin, because it's beta software, just in case there is a bug and it does something screwy and you might lose your money, right? In that case, you want to minimize the potential loss to only a small amount of Bitcoin. So I'll post links both to the Lightning story and to the Bloomberg article covering the ban from Google on the crypto projects and so on. Let me know what you think is going to happen as a result of Google banning ads on cryptocurrencies and ICOs. Also, let me know, if you are technically inclined, what you think to the release of the Lightning software. One of the cool features is it's got a smart routing system that allows it to find the best path from you to the destination you want to send it to. Alrighty then, so I'm now going to go on the train back home, and then I'll be back in the studio and I'll be able to make videos as normal. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks very much for joining me. If you like this episode, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new around here, please get subscribed. And if you'd like access to my very best material, if some of the things that I said here was gobbledygook, then I'd advise you to go through one of my foundational online courses that will teach you the lingo, teach you some fundamentals, so that when you watch the Cryptoverse or listen to it, a lot of the technical terms will make more sense. So you can find that at my website. It's cryptoversity.com. Click on courses and you can take any one of those courses. That'll help you get the terminology and the glossary and the vocabulary, and that'll help you understand the news a lot more and be more informed if you want to make some investing decisions. Alright, that is all for today, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with a regular episode of the Cryptoverse. So until then, it's me, Chris Coney, saying bye for now.